Hey guys, and welcome back to the randomized K-On! Pokemon Team series. We're now on to the last member of the main K-Ons, so let's find out what our wants-to-be dignified but has a wild-side teacher Sawako will have as a trainer. The first Pokemon of Sawako's team is Ditto. That's certainly an interesting one. While Ditto may not be powerful on its own, having base stats that I'm pretty sure are rivaled or surpassed by some baby Pokemon, and having Transform as its only move, the fact that it can copy other Pokemon would certainly make battles a bit unpredictable, since opposing Pokemon would essentially be fighting themselves. Now you would have to be a little clever with a Ditto, since it can't copy a Pokemon's battle experience or basic physical structure, meaning that a Pokemon in better shape could outlast it, as was evidenced in Ash's battle against Drake in the Orange League. But if you're smart, and a little lucky, Ditto can still pose a challenge. The second Pokemon Sawako gets is Rapidash. Now that is a massive improvement. Rapidash is a powerful fire type to have on a team. While its HP is not great, its attack and speed do make up for that. It'll hit hard and fast. Unfortunately, it is very lacking in moves, and doesn't for whatever reason have Flamethrower, so the best fire move it'll get is Fire Blast. I'm gonna assume it gets Flamethrower in later gens. So Rapidash is definitely a little limited in Gen 1. But it's still a strong team member to have. And assuming the fiery mane doesn't burn people, wouldn't it be a sight seeing Sawako riding this thing? Pokemon number 3 of Sawako's team is Arbok. Could be better, but could be worse. Poison types like Arbok don't really do that well in Gen 1 due to almost every grass type bar Tangela being part poison type and bug types being just as if not more easily handled by fire and flying types, which means they have no real advantage over anything. It wasn't until the fairy type in Gen 6 that poison became more viable. But Arbok is still somewhat decent. While its stats aren't anything to brag about, I think they're acceptable for what they are. Its moves are also okay, except for the lack of Sludge, which would have been nice. But hey, ground moves to counter other poison types and rock types aren't bad to have. All in all, Arbok is by no means a powerhouse, so this would definitely be a tricky Pokemon to use in Gen 1. But having a ferocious snake on her team would be pretty amusing for when Sawako unleashes her wild side. Moving on to Sawako's fourth Pokemon, she gets Dugtrio. That's a fairly good Pokemon to get. Dugtrio is definitely a pretty good ground type. While its HP and defense are definitely its Achilles heels, meaning any solid hits will basically kill it instantly, its attack is good enough to cause some damage, and its speed is amazing, meaning crits for days. Being a pure ground type does mean a more limited move pool, but at least they'll hit pretty hard. So while it is pretty much a good definition of a glass cannon, Dugtrio can still hit hard and fast, and would make a good Pokemon to have in battle. Moving to Pokemon number 5, Sawako gets Magmar. That is a fantastic Pokemon to have, even without its Gen 4 evolution. Magmar is a really powerful fire type, up there with Electabuzz in terms of power. While it does lack some HP and defense, though not quite as much as Dugtrio, its other stats are very respectable, and 495 is an excellent number. And its move pool isn't too shabby either. It even learns fighting and psychic moves, which is great. This is one hell of a Pokemon to have on a team. Fast, powerful, Magmar could do a lot of damage, and it only got better with its evolution. But even without, it's still great. Even though fire types don't really do that great in Kanto, definitely try using a Magmar. And the last Pokemon of Sawako's team is Jinx, a very controversial Pokemon. Some people like her, some people hate her. As with Mr. Mime, I'm personally indifferent. It also didn't help that Jinx was once part of a racial controversy due to its early coloring. But we're not here to talk about that. Looking at its stats, Jinx kind of also falls into the glass cannon category. Low HP and defense, but very high special and speed. This thing is pretty much a special sweeper. And the combo of Ice and Psychic gives it a few options for moves. So this is definitely a solid Pokemon to use. I'm currently using one on my blue team, and it's doing pretty well. While it may not be the psychic powerhouse Alakazam is, you really can't go wrong using Jinx, especially since the dual typing gives it more options than it would have being monotype. And that's it for Sawako's Gen 1 team. Overall, it looks pretty good. She does have some powerful team members. Now I don't know how she would handle being a trainer personally, given how she's both very lazy but also pretty motivated. Would she take it seriously, or would she be, yeah, no thanks? Who can say? As always, please rate, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to come join me on Discord. Consider backing me on Patreon. And remember to stay chilled.